You are so, so, so powerful. You are source energy here, creating and expanding the universe through your unique perspective, through your ability to experience contrast, to experience negative emotion and the full spectrum. You are able to expand the universe, because if we didn't have contrast, then there would be no reason to be. There would be no life. Perfection is true death, and we are infinite beings in an infinite universe. And there is so much power to be accessed right here. If you ever think that you need something outside of yourself for something, then you are, it's always an excuse. It's always an excuse not to look inside. It's always running away from what you inherently know because it scares you a little, because you really have to venture in being a different person than the people around you. You have to think differently. You have to be differently. And there is a moment of discomfort in that change, but it's worth it. It's so worth it. I never thought that I would be brave enough to be my own person. And I don't know why that was such a big thing for me, but I think I've just always felt really different than other people, and I just chose to blend in and, be likable, be agreeable, be a people pleaser. We're taught that being selfish is a bad thing. We're taught that expecting good things is a bad thing. You don't want to be spoiled. You don't want things to be too easy. We're told that struggle and sacrifice is the only way, no gain without pain. And that's all absolute rubbish. It's unnecessary once you know what actually creates. But it doesn't, when you tune into this stream of pure creation, it doesn't really look good to other people. Perhaps just because, I don't know, it's like, oh, you're just lucky, you're just privileged, you're just, this person did this for you, like, you're just, reaping all the reward of other people. And you just kind of gotta be like, okay, like, because you've watched your thought evolve. You've seen all the cooperative components come together. Once you've tasted big leverage results, you'll never go back. Never. Because it doesn't work anymore. I remember that being something so scary for me, is I realized, like, that moment where I came to realize I can never go back, because I knew too much at that point. It was at like a tipping point. It's like I can either go back and do what I know works for me right now, or I can move forward and, and change the belief and break the chain, break the cycle, and start off in my own way, on my own path, on, like, following my own guidance, not listening to other people. Well, listening to other people, but knowing what serves you and what doesn't. Like, so ultimately always deciding your own way, deciding your own choices, making your own decisions, just always following your own heart, and being confident about it, and knowing that it is your path. But I remember at that like divergent point, I knew that if I went back, I would come right back to the same place. I knew I just, like, in my head, just went through the whole cycle of just coming back to the exact same point that I was. And it was just, at that point, was I going to take a step forward, or was I going to go and collect more information before I stepped forward? It's about gathering that data. It's never a bad thing when you stay where you are. It's never a bad thing, because you always fine-tune what you're heading into, you clarify it, it becomes better, and you build up your confidence, your self-assuredness, your knowing. It's a good thing. It's always a good thing. But at any moment, you can move forward and create new clarity and create new things that way. You are in charge of how fast or how slow your life moves. You're in charge of everything. You're in charge of your own comfort and your own happiness and satisfaction. Nothing can come to you that you're not ready for. So that means that you have to decide when you're ready for more. You can't just wait and hope that things will change. Eventually everything will, because life has to move forward. Even if you are being unconscious about things will move forward, but you won't be aware of the starting point of things. You won't be aware of how things evolve. You won't be aware of that energy stream of creation, how you were involved in every single thing. You just won't be aware of it, and you'll think that things just come out of the blue, but it really just comes out of your obliviousness. And you can really step into that driver's seat in your life and become the deliberate creator of what you want, what you're creating. And the beautiful thing is that it's like you've created this reality is so far into the future already. It's like I'm not going to go farther into that. And as you allow yourself to come to know it and come to experience it, like you're at that point, you're not creating it, but you think I thought I was, but you're actually just lining up and receiving things that you've already created, and you're adding in like a little cherry on top here and there, because with all the like extra data you experience as it unfolds. I don't want to go too far into that, but basically just give up your sense of being victimized, give up your sense of powerlessness, give up your sense of not being worthy. I know that's a tough one. It's taken me a whole year, and it just gets better and better. I always come to a point where I'm like, damn, I thought I was worthy then, but now I'm worthy now. I thought I was happy then, but now I'm happy now. It just gets better and better. And especially as you start affirming and experimenting with your own power, so you start setting things into motion and watching them come to be, and that just like that affirmation and the results, getting results out of life, deliberate results out of life, instead of just hoping and praying for something to come, or just constantly being in a reactionary state of being. It's just not satisfying. It's so satisfying to be the deliberate creator that you are, and we are all deliberate creators. We are all the same. We all have the same access to this power. All the universal resources are at our fingertips, but there are a couple things in the way, and it's belief, which isn't a hard thing to change. Not as hard as I got into a lot of stuff. There's no such thing as like subconscious beliefs that are ruling your life. It's all very current. What is going on. It's all about focusing on what you want instead of focusing on what you don't want. Your only work is to be in your vortex. So you need to teach yourself what it feels like to be in your vortex. And I will tell you, I've only within the last like month really truly known my vortex, but you just got to stay persistent at it, and keep practicing thoughts. It's all thoughts, and through your emotional guidance whether thoughts work or not. It's about becoming aware enough that the thoughts, you're able to isolate thoughts, so specific thoughts that you want to refocus from when they occur. Or the last couple of days I've been like, oh, I'm in my vortex, and then I'll think one thing and I'll get a sense of time shortageness, or I just know, I'm just like, oh, that thought sucked me right out of the vortex, and I just relax, and then I feel that like lift, and I'm in my vortex again, and in that place, like I don't need anything. I have everything in that state of being. It's a state of being. You can see all your solutions, and you just don't feel any sense of worry or about it not being right now, because you know it's so real, and you can just see how you can look on how things have been coming together for you all along. You're happy. You're so happy in your vortex. You feel infinite. You feel powerful. You feel so much pleasure, so much love. And you can see people as they truly are. Yeah. Give up that sense of like injustice. It's so easy to blame those things. It's so easy to talk about those things, about, you know, being given like, not given that good chance at life. But you deliberately chose your contrast that you were coming into, and in fact, it is actually the people who experience the most contrast are the people who create the most and experience the best results and rewards, and so it's not something to be upset about at all. At all. I let go of that victim story that I had, and it's not like it's never there. The victim pathway is always there for me, always there. You can always take it. You can always take it, and I've even taken it recently on a few things. But then I just come to this sense of clarity, and I just think, who am I? Am I this person or am I this person? And I always, at the end of the day, choose love and choose myself. Just choose, I want to live a good life, a powerful life. I want to be, nothing can affect you unless you let it. You have to, it's an attractive universe. It's not assertive at all. And you have to kind of prove that to yourself, I guess. But, you're responsible for everything. And to the ability that you can be honest with yourself about that and acknowledge that, and really release any negative emotion that comes up with that, because you'll get like defensive, and being defensive is a nightmare, because you can always prove it right. You can always prove yourself right or others wrong. You can always prove things right, because you can make anything true. And in this attractive universe, because whatever you ask for, the universe will give you. And you might not realize that you're asking for proof that you are a victim, and then you're just victimized over and over and over and over again. But that's how it works. And when you tell the universe, hey, I'm powerful, you just get over and over and over and over again, just solutions. Like, this led to this. Like, somebody thought they were, well, no, I don't know if somebody else thought, but like, you could have, this happened to you, and you could have been like, oh, this ruined my life. But you can be like, oh, it's okay. Nothing can hurt me, and it'll turn into something else. And that is how it works. And so own your influence, own your point of attraction. You got to get real about where you are. It is worth it to acknowledge where you are and then choose differently. So it's not just slapping a happy face sticker on things. It's about acknowledging and then choosing different. It's very, very deliberate. I was happy face stickering for a while because I just misunderstood, but you learn pretty fast when you do it, when you apply it, when you live it in your everyday life. So, and I did, and yeah. If you guys want to go deeper into this, my course, How to Take Everything Powerfully, I almost said how to take things powerfully. How to Take Everything Powerfully really goes into this, and it's really brief, and it's meant to be a really easy but informative course, and it's something that I created it, and I've taken it multiple times and listened to my audios multiple times from it, because it helps me. It really does, because because when I'm not in my vortex, I don't know those things. It's about being in your vortex to know. You have to be in your vortex to know those things. It's different states of being. You have to be in a state of clarity to be clear on things. Like, you can't be in confusion and clarity at the same time. And so it just kind of lifts me up to that place, and I'm like, oh yeah, like, sometimes you just got to keep being reminded how powerful you are. And I think that course really really can remind you how powerful you are. Something that I'll keep doing. I wake up every day and I have to remind myself how powerful I am, how everything sources from me. I am the creator of my life. Nobody else has any effect into it unless I choose it. And I always choose the best. And so I get like the best co-creation with people. I get the best co-creation from myself. It's time, guys. It's time. Like, you really can live this life. You can be or do or have anything, but there are some things you got to let go of. And that's, you know, living that backwards way of life that I think we all kind of get into it. Like, something about how we're raised, I think, and that's not an attack or dig at parents. It's a chain. It's a generational chain. And I don't know, just kind of how, it's just where we were. It's just where we were. It's just where they were. And it turns into, like, we're at a point where we can turn it into something so magical. So, all right. I love you guys, and thank you so much.